Welcome back, football lovers, to episode 13 of our daily World Cup 2026 journey. Hydration breaks and storm breaks. Well. I am Arthur, the guy who still measures a match by the roar of the crowd. And sitting across from me is Nora, who probably measures the roar in decibels and expected goals.
It's all about the metrics, Dad. But seriously, welcome everyone. The global connectivity of this 48-team format is giving us so many variables to analyze right now, and the sheer volume of storylines we have today is staggering.
Staggering is the right word. Let's dive straight into the matches we've just witnessed. Lionel Messi, what else is there to say? I remember watching him as a teenager, but to see him now setting the all-time World Cup goals record against Austria. 18 goals. And the drama of it, missing a penalty, only to come back 30 minutes later and continue defying all logic with a masterclass effort.
The resilience is what stands out in the data. If you look at his expected goals on target, missing a penalty usually tanks a player's psychological momentum, leading to a drop in their XG per 90 for the remainder of the match. But Messi just reset, and we can't ignore what's happening right now in the ongoing match between France and Iraq. Mbappé just sent an absolute screamer into the far corner. That's his 15th World Cup goal, tying him for third most in history.
It's breathtaking. But the narrative of the tournament isn't just about the giants. Let's talk about the Shockwaves. Cape Verde producing an unbelievable World Cup shock. A 1-1 draw against Uruguay, sealed by that incredible Varela strike. The underdog spirit is alive and well.
The Cabo Verde fairy tale is trending globally across social media. But tactically, I want to pivot and introduce Norway for a deep dive today. Under Ståle Solbakken, Norway utilizes a fluid 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, relying on a strong collective work ethic. Their primary attacking strategy revolves around striker Erling Haaland, whose pace and physicality constantly stretch opposing defenses. This creates vital central space for Captain Martin Ødegaard to operate as the primary playmaker. Dynamic wingers provide necessary width, supported by a generally solid defensive block that builds from the back. They are really looking to take the World Cup by storm.
A storm indeed. They are showing some real Viking tactical grit, and I love that. They try to overwhelm their opponent with sheer willpower.
Willpower, backed by a massive spike in interceptions per 90. They suffocate their opponents. But speaking of elite goal scorers and historical moments, since we just watched Messi break the ultimate record, Dad, who is the historical equivalent that comes to mind for you?
Seeing records tumble makes me think of the great Gerd Müller. Der Bomber. Since we already talked about the Pelés or Maradonas today, Müller is the perfect legend to highlight. He didn't have Messi's dribbling or Mbappé's blistering pace, but his aura was pure inevitability. I remember watching old footage of the 1970 World Cup. He had this stocky build, but his spatial awareness inside the penalty area was supernatural. If the ball was loose, Müller was already there, turning on a dime and finding the net.
I would love to have seen Müller's modern metrics. His goals per 90 and his shot conversion rate would break our current analytical models. He essentially optimized the XG system decades before we even invented it. He never took a low-probability shot if he could take a high-probability one.
Exactly. He played the geometry of the box perfectly. But let's step off the pitch for a moment. I know you've been monitoring the digital atmosphere, Nora. What's catching your eye today?
Well, there's a huge storyline buzzing online regarding Belgium. Jérémy Doku has flown back to the UK. He just became a father.
Ah, that's wonderful news. Though it hasn't been without controversy. Some media outlets and pundits have been throwing around harsh comments about him stepping away during the tournament, to the point where L'Équipe even had to issue an apology.
Which is totally unfair to him. I think we need to be crystal clear here. We fully support Doku's decision to fly back home. Being present for the birth of your child is vastly more important than any group stage match. Plus, the psychological boost he's getting right now, he is likely feeling fantastic and immensely happy.
I completely agree. A happy player is a dangerous player. This is going to give him wings when he is back on the pitch. The Red Devils absolutely need him, and more importantly, they need him to be happy and mentally liberated. Football is human first.
Exactly. The data shows that players returning from significant positive personal events often overperform their expected goals and assists in the subsequent matches. Aside from Doku, the other massive viral trend is Merlin the Mexican duck. It's taking over the internet.
Oh, Merlin. Yes, the mascot of sorts. I saw a clip of that duck looking completely unruffled despite the chaotic fan atmosphere around the stadiums. It's those quirky little cultural moments that make the World Cup feel like a truly global festival.
So, looking forward to the rest of the day, Dad. What's on the radar?
We have some fascinating clashes ahead. Norway against Senegal, Jordan taking on Algeria, Portugal facing Uzbekistan. But the heavyweight clash for me is England against Ghana. Thomas Tuchel is trying to bring what the English press are calling the surge to make England a genuine threat, while Antoine Semenyo and Ghana are aiming to emulate their 2010 World Cup heroes. It's a brilliant tactical and historical clash.
The numbers on Tuchel's high press are going to be fascinating to watch against Ghana's counter-attacking speed. But despite all these upcoming matches, I know we usually pick a live game to watch together. Today, I think we need to do something a little different.
Oh? What did you have in mind?
I want us to go into the film room and rewatch the entire Uruguay-Cabo Verde match. I need to break down the exact tactical shape that allowed Cabo Verde to pull off that draw. We need to watch it together.
You know what? I'm completely on board. I want to see that Varela strike again anyway. It was a moment of pure magic, and seeing how they frustrated a giant like Uruguay will be a treat.
Perfect. I'll pull up the heat maps, you bring the coffee.
Deal. That wraps it up for episode 13, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through the 2026 World Cup.
We'll be back tomorrow with episode 14, where we'll unpack our findings from the Cabo Verde replay and analyze Tuchel's surge. Until then, keep your stats sharp.
And keep loving the beautiful game. Goodbye, everyone.